Hey, welcome to the Self Design Podcast. My name is Jim, and today we will be talking about questions to ask when you feel lost in life. You know that feeling when everything looks fine on the outside, but on the inside, you're quietly panicking because you have no idea what you're doing with your life? Maybe the job doesn't fit anymore. Maybe you've outgrown your identity, or maybe you just feel numb, directionless, and disconnected. So, if you're in that space right now, this episode is for you. And I'm going to walk you through three powerful questions I use whenever I feel lost or unmoored. So these are not fluff, they're practical, they're grounding, and designed to give you clarity without needing a 5 year plan. So let's get into it. All right. So, first one, we talked about last week that you're not broken, you're just lost, or you're in transition. So these are things that happen, no, in our life, but we have to talk about how we can normalize them. So let's just talk about our last episode. Last week we talked about how you're not broken, you're becoming, or you're just lost. And being lost isn't always a bad idea. It means that you acknowledge that you're not on the right path. And let's normalize that. Feeling lost isn't a failure. It's often a sign that you've outgrown your current path, your current container, and that's the life you built, and that the life you built no longer matches the person that you're becoming. So you're in transition, you're not broken. When you stop treating losses like a problem to fix and start treating it like a signal to tune into, everything shifts. So these three questions, I wouldn't say that they're magic bullets, but they will help you zoom out, help you reconnect with yourself, and take one step at a time, and one aligned step to be specific. All right, let's go ahead. So the first question is, what feels heavy with me right now? So we're starting here because clarity often begins with subtraction. So you have to ask yourself, like, what in my life is draining me, dulling me, or shrinking me? And it could be a job, it could be a friendship, it could be a relationship. So a role that you're still performing that you no longer believe in. Write it down, name it, don't judge it, just acknowledge the weight. So for me, when I did this exercise, I realized that I love talking to people, I love listening to people's stories, and the typical 9 to 5 corporate job where I'm inside a cubicle working alone. I realized that that is not for me. Working with people energizes me. So that is one of the many realizations that I had when I asked myself this question. So, lostness often lives in the things we've been tolerating for too long. So, ask yourself, what feels like it no longer fits, even if I can't fully let it go yet? So, it's a heavy question, and you have to ask that question yourself. All right, let's move on to question number two. So, question number two is, what sparks even a flicker of energy? So, this isn't about finding your passion, it's about noticing what makes you feel alive, noticing aliveness. So, what moments, conversation, tasks, relationships have made you feel a flicker of curiosity, peace, tranquility, possibility, even if it only lasted for a minute? So, this is how we breadcrumb or we track our way out of numbness by noticing tiny sparks and choosing to follow them even a little. And you could start small in doing these types of things. And clarity, normally, they don't come in grand vision. Clarity doesn't come in grand visions. So it arrives in the form of nudges, small things that pile up over time. All right. So that's the second question. So, what gave me a sense of, ooh, I want more of this, even if I didn't act on it? So going back to my example, to me it was talking to people, people that I share the same values, and I also realized like being in nature this last 2 or 3 years that I really love being in nature. So I did the Camino de Santiago. Right now, I'm in Norway doing a short vacation. So just I'll be digressing for a little bit right now. I'm in a town called Voss, so I'll show you the beautiful view outside my hotel room. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So right now I stay in front of a lake, a hotel in front of a lake, and I'm just enjoying this time alone to refresh and recover before I go back to work. Anyway, let's go back to the third question. All right. So the third question that you have to ask yourself is, what would I try if I wasn't afraid? So this question is where we open the door to courage. Like if fear wasn't in the room, what would I experiment with? Um, Not commit to forever, probably, and just try. Like you don't have to commit to it like, oh, I'm gonna be doing this for the next 5 to 10 years of my life. No, just something that you're interested to try. So follow your curiosity. This is what we're doing with this question. So maybe like me, it's starting a creative project, booking time off, going on a holiday, taking a course, and it could even be as little as saying no to that toxic friend that you're just maintaining relationships with just because. And you don't need to act immediately for this. You just have to acknowledge that part of you that's been whispering under all the noise, and that whisper matters. So for me, like this voice that has been hidden because of the many pressures of society and being exposed to different or various types of media, um and being in the rat race, for me that voice became stronger when I did the Camino de Santiago. So I was walking in nature 5 6 hours a day, and it will whisper like things that matters to you, things that give you energy. So all of these three questions, they are connected to each other. So yeah, those three things or those three questions are the questions that we have to ask whenever we want to get that sense of clarity. So again, it's a quick exercise, no? It's a very quick exercise. You can do it in like 15 20 minutes. And if you want, you could like really sit down and reflect on your answers and detail them as much as you want. So this could be like a 15-minute exercise, or it could be a week-long exercise. So it depends on how you want to phrase it for yourself. Oh, look at that. So there are people parasailing. So again, I digress. So going back, yeah, grab a piece of paper, draw three columns, and you could write column one, what feels heavy, column two, what sparks energy, and column number three, what would I try if I wasn't afraid? So now you have what we call a lostness map or something like that. So a snapshot. So it's a snapshot of where you are and what might come next. So you don't need to fix it all at once. You don't have to do that. Just circle one item from each column that feels most alive, or that feels that they needed to be unpacked sooner. So that's your gentle next step. And that's how you start designing your way or your path forward. So, if you're in a season of feeling lost, I want you to know you're not failing, you are evolving. Being lost is what happens before you find your next alignment. And you don't have to figure it all out today. Just ask better questions and follow what feels honest. If this episode's helped you a little less alone, I'd love for you to leave a review, a comment, or share it with a friend. And you can message us on at self designed path on Instagram and YouTube. And if you want bonus content, tools, and support, just check our page. So I'm Jimson, and this is the self designed path. And you're just right on time. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.